Alright, so let's talk about Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. This is a sequel to the 2017 release of Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This is a turn-based RPG with a little bit of action in it. So is it worth playing? Is it worth your time and money? Let's freaking get into it. I'll go over a bit of the story, some gameplay, and then we'll go into some more detailed specifics, my overall thoughts on the game, if I do recommend it or not. So first of all, what's the story of the game? If you have not played the first one, don't worry. This is a Mario game, you know, very simple. It's geared towards kids for the most parts. So what happened in the first one is all of the Rabbids helped save, you know, the kingdom with Mario and whatever. And now at the end of it, they're all helping Peach sort of fix her garden up, when all of a sudden another gigantic baddie comes down, tries to kidnap everyone and take control of a new sort of kind of character in this game called Rabbid Lumens. Lumens, if you don't know, are what Rosalina kind of looks after. You know, it's a lot of the star power from the Mario Galaxy series, but now there's a new Rabbid version. So the Dark Mass is harnessing all that to try to take over, and it's your job to save all them and stop them. Pretty nice and simple. That is the story. You're going to be going through many different biomes, you know, exploring worlds, saving those worlds, moving over to the next one until you get to the end. That's the story. Okay, so the gameplay. How does this work? Now, you know, this is obviously a Mario spin-off, so it's not your typical running around platforming, running around picking up stars. It's going into different sorts of battles and playing a sort of much more looser version than what you would call a hardcore tactical game like Fire Emblem or XCOM. I remember 2017 when Kingdom Battle came out. That was one of the best ways to describe this game to someone who did not know what it was. This is Mario XCOM. And yes, it has that similarities still, just in the gameplay portion, but man, this game has a ton of freedom. So how does it work? Well, at the start of the game, they give you a tutorial to teach you the basics of what you can actually do. So it's going to be different battles and missions. And what happens is there's lots of different goals. A lot of the battles are simply defeat the enemies, maybe defend something, destroy something so you can move over, or simply get across the stage without getting knocked out. So those are the kind of goals that you're going to be seeing in these battles. Now, it takes place in two phases, your turn and then the enemy phase, and then it simply goes back and forth. Now on your turn, you control one of three characters. At the beginning, they give you control of two just to get you started, but after a little bit in the story, I would say an hour plus, then you unlock the third character, and then it starts getting a little more complicated. So how it works is you can move around depending on your character's movement stats. So you can go behind partial cover, which is like a half cover, regular cover. You can run around to your other party members and interact with them. You can do special abilities, so you can buff their attacks. You can heal them. You can use a jumping attack, so you would go to one of your other party members. You can jump in the air, fly around a bit, and you can do a lot of shenanigans in the air. It's really good for getting over gaps or maybe peeking behind cover and whatnot. This game's funny because I really didn't play the first one, but man, watching Mario come out with these two blasters, it's so freaking funny. So Mario has a gun, Peach has a shotgun, Luigi has like a sniper bow and arrow, and then there's the other Rabbid members that you have. So Rabbid Mario is a brawler with fists, and then you have Rabbid Peach, who has a sort of mortar type of weapon, and then, you know, there's more characters and you're going to be unlocking as you go on. So you primarily have two actions that you do. Like I said, you can run around and do a bunch of different moves, dash into enemies. It gives you a lot of freedom. It's very interesting how much freedom they give you. It doesn't lock you in a grid like, oh, 1, 2, 3 spots and then you're done. No, you can just move anywhere you want. And so you have the option of using your basic weapon to shoot an enemy. Now, what's interesting here is it is XCOM-like, where you are pointing at an enemy, shooting, and waiting for the results. However, there is a difference here where it's not like, oh, 80% chance to hit, 99% chance to hit, and then you miss. It is always, for the most part, 100% as long as you have line of sight. If they're behind partial cover, it's always a flat 50%. But pretty much, you don't have to deal with like, oh my god, 90% please. If this misses, I'm gonna have to restart the mission. No, you just go ahead, shoot them, and then you're good. As long as you can get into the line of sight, the opportunity to do so. So different weapons. So a lot of people have different properties, and then you have your special skills. Depending on your party member, they can do different things. The Rabbid Peach heals. Luigi has a sort of Overwatch where you shoot, you activate the ability, and then you wait for the next turn. If an enemy moves in your line of sight, he shoots him. And these don't take up mana or anything. It's pretty simplistic where it just takes different cooldowns. So after a couple turns, you could reuse it again. There's a new thing in the game called Sparks. Now, these play kind of like equipment and accessories where you're going to be getting more as you play the game. Some are optional, some you get through the story, and you equip them on your characters. These give you actives and passives. For an example, there's one where if you equip it on a character, it gives you a flat physical reduction rate. So if you get like melee attacked or hit with the gun, you got like a flat 15%. But then the active ability makes it so everyone gets a little bit of buff around you. So, oh, this turn everyone gets plus 20% damage. So it's really cool. You can customize it that way. You can also level them up. So you're going to be collecting bits in this game. Another thing that they brought from like the Mario Galaxy series, where you're going to be collecting coins for, you know, buying consumables from shops and stuff, you know, from the first game, etc. But then you got bits, and these are used to upgrade your equipment. It's great. So you have lots of ways to do things. You have your basic attack. You have your movement abilities to dash into enemies, jump around, hide behind cover. You have your special regular abilities depending on the character, and then you have the equipable sparks. So there's a lot of ways to customize your characters here. At any time, you can always switch out your party, so it's really good. I mean, switch out before the battle, so they always give you an overview of the battle. You can see exactly how many enemies there are, so it can be like, okay, there's not a lot of cover here, I'll bring in Luigi. Or, oh my god, there is a lot of cover here, I'll just bring in the Rabbid Peach to shoot over. There's not that many enemies. Do I need to bring a healer or the protector, etc.? So they give you lots of different ways to strategize. And even if you want to strategize even more, there's experience here. You level up, and then there is a pretty simple skill tree. Everyone has like a health skill tree, of movement one, an attack one, a special one, etc. Now everyone plays a little different. So for example, Mario's movement skill tree gives him the ability to, you know, team jump, but then land on an enemy to do some damage. If you're playing something like Rabbid Peach, your jumping ability, if you choose to level it up via this skill tree, makes it so when you stop near one of your allies, you heal a certain percent of health, and so on. So everyone plays a little different, and they made it so, you know, you don't have to stress out too much. If you want, you can always respec your points at any freaking time and move them in. And you know, they do this one thing where it's a 100% fair party share. So if you're always using Mario, he's going to have the same amount of level and experience as someone who's benched all the time. So they make it so no matter what situation you're in, as long as, you know, you look at the battlefield, switch out anyone for any situation, or just play with your favorites. So that's pretty much the game. Battle system. Now let's talk about the overworld, because this is one thing that they vastly improved from the first one. Exploration in between battles is a lot more involved. First of all, the environments, they look really, really awesome. It's a little disappointing because they made the environment look so good, but you can't interact with a lot of things. There are, you know, different points all over the place where you're obviously supposed to go and interact, like talk to an NPC here. But yeah, there's like, oh, I want to go, you know, hide over there, I want to run over there. You can't do that, but everything looks good. It looks really good. But they did add a lot of overworld things to do. First of all, you can, like, you know, shake bushes and trees, find stuff, talk to NPCs, accept quests, defeat this enemy, find that, solve world riddles and puzzles by moving things around, grabbing them, picking them up, you know, placing things here or there. They have like little quick time things where you're supposed to activate a little fishing mini game. Maybe you're supposed to grab all of the red stars, the red coins, green coins within a certain time, and then you're going to be getting more rewards that way. Like, they did a lot here on the overworld, and I think it's a good game. Like, this is an extremely good Mario game. Now, that's the game in a nutshell. You're just going to be simply going through all the biomes, and you can go do the story as fast as you want. And if you do, you're gonna be missing out on a lot of stuff, but at the same time, you're not gonna be like over leveled or anything, because the game does a pretty good balancing job. Here there is an easy mode, a normal mode, and a hard mode. I am currently playing on hard mode, and I have to say, it's easy for the most part, but as soon as you get to the bosses, it gets a little like on par where you have to sit down and think. So that's the cool thing about that, is it's a little bit more accessible, and if you want, you can customize the difficulty. This was surprising. You can make it so enemies do more or less damage, you heal or you don't heal after battles, and they even have one for really casual players, maybe small kids who don't even understand the system, but you want them to jump in and just have fun and just mess around. You can make it so you are invincible during battle. So yeah, there is that. And because this is just a Switch game, you don't have to worry about, like, you know, activating these sort of cheats and codes to you know, mess it so you don't get achievements or completions. You don't have to worry about that at all. So that is Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope in a nutshell. Now, quickly, my overall thoughts on the game. Is it good? Is it bad? I think this is one of the best Mario spin-off games, and I really am a fan of Mario spin-off games. Yeah, you know, Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, you know, Odyssey, they're great. But my favorites are really the Mario and Luigi sagas, the Paper Marios, you know, all of that good stuff. So I'm very happy to see something that is harken to those, you know, RPG spin-offs, just Mario in a different genre. And it really works here. You know, there's a reason why they made a sequel, and it took so long. You know, they were just working on it. Maybe Ubisoft was busy, but they came out with this, and I think it's a really good game. It's not, you know, it's not perfect though. There are some things that which, you know, I've seen people complain about. For example, maybe the animations of the enemies are a little too slow. You have to, like, for example, if there's a lot of enemies on the screen, you have to sit down and watch them do their turn, you know, over and over and over. There is a fast forward button. There's no outright skip button, but I don't know why you would want to skip outright. So you want to see what they're doing. But yeah, this game is, it can be casual. If you are a big RPG fan, you're hardcore Fire Emblem or whatever, I recommend playing on hard mode. You can switch on any time, and really there's no penalty from like switching out, because you can change the difficulty at any time. But yeah, Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope, it's a fun game. Like, holy crap, I think it's really good. So if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, it helps a lot. If you haven't already subbed for daily videos, if you're interested, I'm uploading my Let's Play on the MabiVsGames channel, a link down below, and come by Twitch where I'm live streaming all of it. So let me know what you guys think of this game down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.